Today we are back in a Honda Odyssey. This is a 2026 Elite Top Trim. Costs around $53,000. The Odyssey starts at around $44,000 for the 2026 model year. No major changes here for 2026, but I figured it'd be fun to just get back into one of these, rip some VTEC, and show you guys around one of the best packaged interiors in existence. There is just so much space here to put things, people, and stuff. We've got lots of seats, lots of storage, lots of configurability. Just look at this center console design. You've got room for your water bottles, your wireless phone charging, your stuff under there. There's even a removable tray right here that goes so deep down there. There's a hidden compartment right there with even more storage. You can put a bag right here. You've got USB ports, a Type C, a Type A, power outlets, heated and ventilated seats. Can you turn them on at the same time? You cannot, but that's okay. We've got a heated steering wheel, lots of driver assistance tech, buttons to open and close those rear van doors, 2-seat memory settings, and pretty much everything your heart could desire out of a minivan, except for a 360 camera. What's going on, Honda? Why can't you do a 360 camera in this Honda Odyssey, or a lot of your vehicles, for that matter? Yes, it has the 3.5 liter V6, 280 horsepower, 262 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission, and it's front-wheel drive only. It is the fastest minivan on sale. If you want to rip some tech with the fam, this is the only one to do it in. Except for, of course, if you want the Honda Pilot or the Honda Passport, both of which are excellent options, but don't hold a candle to the packaging of the Honda Odyssey. If you are a family person or you just want to haul lots of things, it kind of doesn't get much better than a minivan. I know they're a little bit passé and out of style these days, but getting into one after spending so much time in SUVs and crossovers, this is the way. Let's start in the back. Wonderfully low load floor. Look at all this space. You've got a stowing magic seat. Look at this. Let's see if we can figure this out here. You pull that. That slides. Let's see here. This. Yep. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. So much room. And then you can remove the second row too, if your heart so desires. But we're going to leave this up for now. All manually operated, so it's easy. You don't have to wait for electronics to do their things. No more Honda vac, sadly, but you've got more storage here and here and here, and more power outlets. And an 80-watt 12-volt max outlet right there. Very nice. Powered rear tailgate. Look at all the space in this thing. It's ridiculous. Power rear doors. Look at that, getting into the third row. Pretty easy. That's the second row all the way back. Tons of room back here. You can even slide this forward and get out very, very easily. Doesn't get any better than that. You can also, if you move this and take it out, the seats will slide this way, so you can get better access to the third row with the car seat in there. Again, Honda has all the answers in their Odyssey. Look at this ingress. You just step in. Button to close the door. There are lots of modern interpretations of luxury flying around these days. Screens, tech, leather. This is honestly one of the best. Press that. What do we have here for tires? Probably not going to be very impressive with today's conditions. Set of Bridgestone Turanza EL 440s in 235/55 R19s. Nice looking wheels on the Elite trim. Let's pop the hood, take a look at this V6. Rated for 19 miles to the gallon in the city and 28 on the highway. Again, 280 horsepower, 3.5 liter V6, 10-speed auto, decent fuel economy if you're doing longer road trips. No available all-wheel drive. That will deter some buyers who live I guess around here at this time. But honestly, with a good set of winter tires on here, or all season tires that can handle some snow, you'll be in pretty good shape with front wheel drive only. Let's go out and test out the traction control system in inclement weather conditions. I don't think these tires are going to be up to any winter driving, so I opted not to drive this in the snow today, just so we can hear some VTEC roar as well on this drive. We'll test out the traction control system. We'll see how stable and confidence-inspiring this car is in some low grip scenarios. It is a little bit greasy out, and it's cold, 30 degrees Fahrenheit. We have a combination between digital and analog gauges, an analog speedometer, a digital gauge cluster to the left. This interior does feel a little bit older school Honda. Lots of physical controls though, amazing just touch and feel and feedback with everything. The turn signal feels high quality, all the buttons feel high quality, and there's just enough tech in here to make this feel modern and up to date in 2026. You can control things like your screen brightness over here on the menu to the left, gauge display settings, see your range and fuel, speed, time, audio, navigation, seatbelts, maintenance, tire pressure, safety support, no content. We're going to leave it on no content because just minimalist. CarPlay connects wirelessly. I honestly haven't driven this enough this week to tell you how reliable it is, but maybe Substitute Topher will in his video. This is honestly looking like the exact same infotainment system that I have in my Civic Type R. So it works. It should be fine. No Google-based system here. Though we do get a native navigation with Honda. Let's see if it loads. Okay. Thank goodness we have CarPlay. Button here to turn off auto stop start. Here's your reverse camera again. One thing I do like about Honda's cameras, even though they're not giving us a 360 camera in this elite family vehicle, top trim family vehicle, is that they give you a very wide view. So if you're backing out of your driveway and you've got blockages on both sides of you, you can see if someone's coming down the street. All right, let's put this into drive. You've got really just a couple drive modes. Drive or sport mode for the transmission, and then snow and econ for your everything else. We'll just start off in drive. Our auto wipers are engaged. We'll see how those work today. Steering is wonderfully light in this Odyssey. Good visibility all around as well. We have a tiny little sunroof right here. There's that 3.5 liter V6. We get paddle shifters behind the steering wheel. Smooth, easy to drive. Nice linear brake pedal. Good throttle calibration. Great smooth shifts from this 10-speed automatic. Also, did you guys see the Honda Odyssey Type R at SEMA this year? Holy crap, that was awesome. Just incredible. Best execution of a SEMA minivan build I think I've ever seen. I mean, they probably did it better than Honda would, if I'm being honest. So cool though, even as a manual transmission. It's never gonna happen, but I don't think I've loved it after just about anything as much as I have that in the last few years. Another Honda Odyssey. All right, a little bit of wheel spin. I don't think we're going to have a ton of grip on these Bridgestone Turanzas today. We'll take it easy around the corners since it is a little bit greasy. Steering is very light. Oh yeah, we got a little bit more traction than I think we do. We're in sport mode. Let's drop a couple gears. Oh, that's amazing. That's so good. actually pretty fast. NVH is pretty quiet in here, except for the windshield wipers and the slightly wonky window seal on the driver's side. A little bit of a QC issue there. My S2000 also has wonky window seals, but those are 25 years old. We have adaptive cruise control. Seems to work quite well on this. Not too heavy on the brakes like some Hondas can be. Lane keep assist isn't as impressive as I've seen in some newer products, but it works if you need it. Adaptive cruise control keeps a pretty close following distance. Honestly, this is one of the better adaptive systems from Honda recently. You can skip 5-mile-an-hour increments by holding. Nice steering wheel buttons. They're matte. They're clearly defined. They're not overly complicated. It works great. We also have the 11-speaker premium sound system in this Honda Odyssey, and it bumps. It sounds great. It's unbranded, but it really has nice audio quality, which is a welcome addition to the Odyssey. Let's throw us into sport mode. Hit a little bit more VTEC here. What about with traction? We'll leave traction control on. See how it handles this type of a situation. Honestly, not bad. For having an open front differential and just being front-wheel drive on a set of all seasons, probably tuned to fuel efficiency, it figured everything out quite well. I was flat out. What about with traction off? Or reduced, as it says. I like that a little bit better. Still got some lights flashing. I don't know if you can completely disable traction and stability control in this Honda Odyssey. You might have to do a pedal dance or something. There is a lot of front wheel spin in this. Why couldn't we have all-wheel drive, you ask? Well, it's a packaging thing. You can't have that low floor and all that space in the back with a drive shaft going to the rear axle. And you'd lose out on some cargo space, again, in the back, if you had a rear drive motor integrated with a hybrid system. Maybe the next generation Honda Odyssey will be all-wheel drive. If you need all-wheel drive, if you want all-wheel drive, there are other options in the segment that you can get. As it stands, though, I would just get one of these and a good set of tires, and you would be just fine for winter driving. At the end of the day, it's all worth it for that 3.5 liter V6. All right, let's pull over here. Cue up our sound system test track and listen to this 11-speaker audio. We've got a volume knob right here. Great turning radius. Sound system is excellent, like excellent. Best I've ever heard in a Honda Odyssey. That's fantastic. I love how everything is just within a hand's reach here. Great ergonomics. This is why we need physical controls, especially in family vehicles carrying around lots of people and things and valuable cargo, in addition to being safer for other drivers on the road with fewer distractions. Really, the only things this Honda Odyssey needs are a 360 camera. I feel like with kids, with families, parking at the school, garage, toys, things around the vehicle, it would be nice to have more than just parking sensors in the front of the vehicle. Being able to actually physically see what's in front of you would be both safer and more helpful from Honda. Kind of a big oversight, honestly, without a 360 cam in this $53,000 Odyssey Elite. The only other thing I would really appreciate here is a limited slip front differential. There is a lot of wheel spin in wet weather here from this Odyssey. The helical diff from the Civic Si, the Type R, those would be great options to put in your 280 horsepower minivan. Just a thought, just dropping that idea into Honda's head if they're watching. That would be fantastic. It doesn't have to be in a Honda Odyssey Type R or SI. Just add it. Don't tell anyone. But if at least it's only going to be front-wheel drive, at least make it two-wheel front-wheel drive instead of one-wheel peel front-wheel drive. I think it'd be pretty fun. All right, back into sport mode. A little bit of understeer. There it is. There's that third gear. All right, guys. There's another drive on a Honda Odyssey. This time the 2026 Elite. Always a good time. I think the last Odyssey we had was really smelly. It had really smelly either off-gassing of plastics or someone spilled milk in the back or something happened in it. None of that here. This smells good. It has a nice new car smell, and it is brand new. This is only 848 miles on it. So, pretty factory fresh. Aside from that wonky window seal, everything here feels really tight, really solid. No shakes and rattles. My first experience in a Honda Odyssey was in a 2001 Honda Odyssey. It had 307,000 miles on it. It was a company car. My buddy bought it, I think, for $1,400, put a new steering rack in it, and we drove it all the way out to Dirtfish Rally in Washington State. It was a champ. We drove it back. He eventually sold it to some family members. They put another 60,000 miles on it in like a year or two. It's probably still out there kicking. I don't know. I kind of lost track of it after that. But that Odyssey could easily have over 500,000 miles on it at this point. And they're just still kicking. Not much has changed. The same formula here exists in 2026. Front-wheel drive, reliable, naturally aspirated V6, tons of space, luxury, and comfort. It makes for a good package. A couple little weird Honda tech things, like it feels a little bit dated with the screen and the gauge display, but it's better for it. The physical buttons, the physical controls makes this a much easier vehicle to live with, and the packaging is almost second to none. The Chrysler Pacifica is pretty awesome with stow and go, but that's patented and no one else gets that. And this, you just have to remove the seats. So you can configure this and figure out whatever works with your lifestyle. You can pull everything out of the interior if you want, or just leave the seats that you need. And it is nice to be able to slide that second row in and out for access into the third row, or completely remove the third row, or stow it down below. There's lots of options here in the Honda Odyssey, depending on what you need from it. That's going to be it for me. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.